Would you like to stop the suffering and limitations of chronic pain? Would you like freedom and vitality in your body and mind? I am Dr. Michael Irving. Thank you for attending this free webinar, Achieve Freedom and Vitality, Say Goodbye to Chronic Pain. I am sure there are other places you could be, so thank you for taking time out to come here. I will do my best to honor your valuable time by providing you with abundant and practical information. I want you to get to a place where you can overcome the suffering of chronic pain. This webinar is for you if you do not want to be told one more time that it's all in your head, leaving you feeling discounted and without a solution. If you have trouble sitting, standing, walking, sleeping, or relaxing, and you demand change. If you're tired of being offered more drugs or hearing surgery is the only way out. If you were always strong and could get through anything, and now persistent pain is fill in the gap. If enough is enough. To celebrate turning 65 years old, I ran 5 full marathons in 12 weeks. This was truly amazing, and I felt really great about it. Yet, it's only part of the story. My body was not always this fit, free, or vibrant. I suffered with years of persistent pain, and at times it prevented me from walking or getting out of bed for weeks. I tell you my marathon achievements not to impress you, but to impress upon you that freedom in a vibrant body is achievable for you. Though it may not be a series of marathon runs, I'm sure there are other monumental successes and achievements for you to look forward to in your life. You are here now because of persistent and limiting pain. I know what it's like to be in your shoes. I struggled through decades of persistent pain and its limitations. At various times, I used a cane, crutches, an arm sling, or neck or wrist braces. At various times, like many chronic pain sufferers, pain's ugly face migrated about my body, residing in one area and then showing up in another. Low back, upper back, neck, shoulders, hips, knees, bursitis, tendonitis, painfully sore feet, migraines. I had it all. Chiropractic, physiotherapy, medication, cortisone shots, acupuncture, heat and ice brought some relief. Suggestions of eventual disc surgery were met with fear and apprehension due to conflicting reports on their viability. While coping with years of chronic pain, I continued to work through PTSD issues, took and led workshops and trainings in mind-body healing, solution-focused, emotion-based, and expressive therapies, EFT, and many other effective tools for wellness and healing for myself, as well as those that I serve. With a career commitment to helping others, I learned a lot about managing or ignoring pain as I had developed a busy private practice, earned a doctorate in professional psychology, and also art is healing. Raised children, became a leading expert in trauma, PTSD, and pain management, and even created beautiful sculptures and a massive bronze monument. I was successful and a high achiever by any standards. Then a unique doorway opened through a heart attack, a stroke, and 3 years of cardiac crisis. It was as though through adversity, the forces of the universe prodded me into taking an even deeper assessment of my life and even appreciate the journey. As a result of an accident while I was in the hospital for emergency open heart surgery, I entered the white light of the near-death experience. In the white light, I was confronted by a messenger who clearly communicated to me that the conditions that initially caused PTSD and chronic pain and the lifelong journey of healing that followed were gifts affecting the breadth of my wisdom and the depth of my compassion. Further messages were related by others in the realm of the NDE white light. I was at a crossroads. I could move through to the other side, or I could stay and offer my wisdom and compassion to others. The implication of the messages of these guides was not just to forgive or accept some of the harshest adversities that had come into my life, but to appreciate their contribution to the quality of my life and my ability to serve others. My personal work with resolving chronic pain moved forward in leaps and bounds, with the result that nearly half a century of persistent coming and going of the suffering of chronic pain vanished and hasn't returned in more than a decade. Residual PST symptoms that I had not been able to fully shake also disappeared. The impact of the white light experience was greatest in its moving beyond the personal realm. Providing deep and remarkable help to chronic pain sufferers was resulting in amazing outcomes. It felt like a special and wonderful realm of serving others had been unlocked for me. There was a deep satisfaction in serving others with my skills and receiving feedback from colleagues and clients. Over the years, I had learned much about mind-body tools and resiliency skills through personal experience, professional training, and clinical work. Now, purpose and meaning to my life's personal journey and professional work were coalescing as a continuum. A sense of unfolding was occurring just as it should. The implications from the epiphany presented during the white light of the near-death experience was deep and long-lasting. The legacy of adversity and pain in my life is no longer attached to regret and dread. I have an appreciation of the value of the journey and the wondrous destiny that we have come together in sharing meaning, purpose, and lessons. I live from a perspective that it is no accident that each of you are here to learn principles for overcoming chronic pain and its shadow of suffering. I understand and appreciate that what you gain and master with these core principles will lead to your achieving success in many other areas of your life. If you're like me, you know that the problem of the suffering with chronic pain is not just going to go away on its own. And you know it's time to take action and do something about it on a deep core level where chronic pain has taken hold. If you had the keys to unlock your mind's secrets for alleviating pain, would you use them? There is a distinct reason that medical and physical interventions miss the mark on simple and fundamental driving forces to long-term chronic pain. These approaches are completely failing to recognize a key element of the problem with chronic pain. They are walking into the wrong room with the downright incorrect toolbox. They are radically missing the point on what is actually driving chronic pain, and they are trying to make a simple problem complex. The fundamental conditions inside of you that are driving persistent chronic pain are basic and understandable by you. You can be provided with the right toolbox that can allow you to eradicate the suffering of chronic pain. The easy-to-learn and master strategies and tools for getting to the core level holding chronic pain is the foundation of a powerful and comprehensive approach I developed that is called mind-based pain repatterning, or MBPR. Let's look at the amazing results for one man who was introduced to the innovative mind-based pain repatterning keys and dramatically altered his life by successfully putting these tools into practice.
Chronic pain is what? Never stops. Every day, every minute, every whatever, it comes in, it doesn't come and it's just consistently bad. And I had chronic pain for like 3 years. It was horrible, a horrible, horrible, horrible time in my life. This is what I was like last year on this stage. I'd literally do this. I'd be writing and then I'd find, I put a chair on this side, I put a chair on that side. And it was like I'd sit down at every chance I get. I saw like 3 surgeons, 5 doctors, 3 MRIs. I did standing x-rays, sitting x-rays. They stuck things just to kind of check the area out. They did bone scan, a nerve conduction test where they took needles this freaking long and they stuck them in my leg and they shocked me to see how well the whole thing was working. I was in freaking pain for 3 years. That man fixed it. I walked across Spain this summer, 1 month after doing that exercise. The chief of orthopedic surgery was my doctor on this case. And I told him that. He didn't want to know how it happened. He didn't want to know what. He didn't want anything at all. No more pain. Would you like to know how? It's not a physical exercise. Couldn't stand. How the hell are you supposed to do physical exercise? I just followed his instructions to the T, right? I did it every day faithfully. It took 20 minutes a day. I set my timer. I got up every morning at 7 o'clock. I did the exercise. I didn't believe it would work, but guess what? No more pain. It's too simple. I'm forever grateful, by the way.
Well, thank you. I'm
Love you, man. Really
grateful. Paul is not part of my team. He receives no remuneration for his resounding support of the mind-body pain repatterning program. I had not asked for Paul's endorsement. Rather, it spontaneously came from him while I was part of an audience during a business training. Before my MBPR coaching with him, Paul suffered with 10 years of chronic pain after a broken ankle. For 7 years, Paul's chronic pain was in his foot and ankle, and then it migrated to his hip, where it continued as a substantial limiting pain for 3 years. Hence, all the unsuccessful interventions with the top doctors money could provide. After his chronic pain was fully resolved, using standard mind-body pain repatterning protocols, Paul's wife, Nancy, caught me at an event and shared her gratitude that he was a different man. She told me he had not been to the gym or walked their little dog for 7 years. Now he was going to the gym every morning, walking the dog regularly, and was back to his old self from decades earlier. Nancy shared it was amazing that her husband's work with me allowed him to go from having trouble standing or walking back and forth on a stage to his walking more than 800 kilometers across Spain on the Camino de Santiago with their son. And directly following, he continued going with her to some amazing European sites, cities, and restaurants. For me, the most valuable remuneration I get for teaching and coaching high-achieving people through mind-based pain repatterning is to see their improved lives and their genuine gratitude. It doesn't get any better than that. Paul, like all of the business leaders, professionals, and accomplished people I work with, has discipline and a commitment to follow through on a proven plan. The why of Paul's dream of walking across Spain with his son after high school graduation was bigger than the suffering of his decades-old chronic pain. So there was motivation to rise above and beyond. This why is part of your challenge in discovering your way out of chronic pain. Paul manifests a willingness to be a learn-it-all rather than a know-it-all. If this sounds to you like a basic principle for achievement in business, a profession, life, or any aspiration, you're right. And it is time for you to step back and receive support so you can put an exclamation mark on your why for overcoming the suffering of chronic pain, and to use your learn-it-all skills to follow through on a plan to achievement and success. What I'm about to share with you is the missing link for so many people. Once you have this in place, everything changes. You are here for a reason, and I'm glad you've made it. I want to share with you what is by far the most powerful approach I have come across for healing the root cause of the suffering of chronic pain, or what I identify as mind-based chronic pain. The first thing you have to learn is mind-based chronic pain was initially embedded and then was kept alive by thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and emotions after the initial injury had healed. These are conditions that you have control over. Mind-based chronic pain persists when mindset, the core story, and mind-body connection are ignored and avoided while pursuing physical causes long past the healing phase of the original injury. Chronic pain can be dealt with at its core level with practical and easy-to-learn strategies and tools. You do not have to suffer. You can take control. Many of my clients have achieved dramatic shifts in chronic pain through employing resiliency skills, mind-body tools, and through MBPR protocols directly addressing thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes attached to their chronic pain. To extinguish the suffering of chronic pain, it is important to recognize the difference between acute pain and chronic pain. Brain scans have clearly shown that acute and chronic pain activate and are processed in different regions of the brain. This is the major reason acute and chronic pain require vastly different approaches for management and resolution. Acute pain is associated with tissue or structural injury in the body that is still in the healing process and that inhabits the somatic areas of the brain. Acute pain is largely a protective response. Acute pain can slowly develop over time or start suddenly in response to something directly in the moment. Acute pain usually feels sharp, piercing, throbbing, stinging, or burning. Acute pain continues to remain in the specific area of the injury. Acute pain may be mild and ceases in a short time, or it may be severe with an injury like a broken bone, burns, surgery, and last for weeks or months. Acute pain usually does not last longer than 6 months and then stops when the injury has been resolved and healed. It is also important to note that long-term pain from osteoarthritis, cancer, or chronic disease are injury and structured based. These chronic disease-related pains are consistently felt in the area of the chronic disease. Like acute pain, they are processed and mediated in the somatic and physical regions of the brain. Chronic pain lives in the emotion and executive functioning areas of the brain, where we create and hold on to stories. Chronic pain lasts past the 3 to 9 months that even major injuries need for healing. Chronic pain can even persist for years and frequently does not have an obvious physical cause. Chronic pain migrates about the body, showing up in one area and then another. Chronic pain that continues past the healing and recovery phase of an injury can be viewed as mind-based chronic pain. This pain is woven into the thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and feelings that developed while recovering from acute pain. And it is the thought and emotion processing systems of the brain that keeps mind-based chronic pain active and alive. Drugs, surgery, physical interventions are valuable and have a place in time, particularly with acute pain, but they are poor authors of new stories. Only you can identify your chronic pain-related stories and rewrite them. All you need are the right strategies and tools to do this identifying and repatterning writing. Scientifically informed mind-based pain repatterning protocols, or MBPR protocols, can provide you with the tools to identify, release, and rewrite your mind's core stories that you need to change in order to reduce and eradicate chronic pain. Building on 30 years of experience in helping thousands resolve and repattern the mental and physical manifestations of post-traumatic stress, somatic body memory, and chronic pain, I have devised and developed activities and practices that effectively release and repattern conditions that are locked into the brain and which no longer serve people. The most successful of these have been collected together and adapted into mind-body pain repatterning system. Mind-based pain repatterning enters the brain's neural network from a variety of fronts. MBPR strategies and techniques have an ability to reach deep into the core foundations, arresting chronic pain and keeping chronic pain suffering surfacing and resurfacing year after year. These approaches and exercises deal with a shift in overall mindset in order to effectively deal with chronic pain on its deepest level. MBPR protocols are formulated so they adapt to each individual's unique needs for release and repatterning. I'm totally excited about the amazing effectiveness of MBPR protocols. I love coaching clients on them and getting to see the remarkable changes that come about. The specifics of these powerful MBPR exercises are beyond the time frame and scope of our webinar today. but we're going to dip into important elements in shifts in mindset and look at some mind-body tools that are important for stress release, relaxation, and managing pain. An intensive program in mind-based pain repatterning can generate changes in mindset, provide for mastery of mind-body tools, and assure the release and rewriting of the core forces in chronic pain stories. Through a focused MBPR program, you can look forward to saying goodbye to the suffering of chronic pain and thoroughly embrace a life of freedom and vibrancy. To overcome chronic pain, there are a number of deep core areas where change needs to occur. The forces holding on to chronic pain are basic, yet they are most often overlooked. If you're successful in business and a career and have been attracted to my work and this webinar, much of what I am saying already makes sense to you. You are likely already somewhat there, consciously or unconsciously, in understanding the power of mindset. If you've lived with the suffering of long-term chronic pain, there are some deep levels in which you are being held back by pain-focused thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and feelings that do not serve you. If these were easy to change, or if you could change these core problems on your own, you would clearly have done so by now. What is needed is knowledgeable, leading-edge coaching, direction, and support that can stretch you and take you past where you are stuck. If you have found me and are attracted to my work, I start with a solid principle that you already have strengths. These serve you, and they can get you into trouble. Our mutual work together is to discover the specific replayed messages attached to your chronic pain so that new scripts can be rewritten on deep core levels. Specific thought patterns and processes need to be modified and shifted so that they serve you. Often, it is not stopping a behavior or skill, but changing its expression. Persistence is great in promoting achievement, but persisting with the wrong thought can embed and deepen chronic pain. Self-talk is great, but self-talk with the wrong messages can be detrimental rather than positive, motivating, and beneficial. Some of what got you into trouble with chronic pain, when shifted, will be the inner resources that get you out. If you can identify the thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and feelings that are attached to your chronic pain, you can master the skills to gain relief over chronic pain and even eradicate it. You will have gained incredible new skills, enhanced and developed strengths you already possessed, become wiser and more knowledgeable, prepared yourself for greater success in other areas. It is time to make a choice and move forward. The rewards are amazing. Shift your mindset in relation to chronic pain, and you will find freedom, vitality, and achievement in other important areas in your personal or professional life. Let's look at one of the most valuable mindset approaches you can have in addressing life's hardships. The attitude and belief system of a resilient outlook sees an adversity rather than a trauma. A resilient mindset is composed of three main ingredients. 1, holding the belief you will get through the conditions of adversity. 2, recognizing lessons and opportunities are found in your adversity. 3, having a positive outlook while moving forward through the adversity and onward in your life. Number 1, a resilient mindset knows you will get through the suffering. A mindset of getting through is believing you will resolve or positively adapt to a new reality and a new perspective. Each circumstance and each individual has a different interpretation of what getting through will eventually look like for them. Recognizing your victory over adversity will serve you on a deep core level the next time you face a hardship. Number 2, a resilient mindset understands there are lessons and opportunities that will come to you due to the adversity that come into your life. Through this expectation and appreciation of an opportunity or lesson, the very experience of pain or any other adversity can change. A resilient outlet discovers deeper levels of meaning and purpose rather than a sense of being a victim. Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seeds of an equal or greater benefit." The third ingredient to resiliency is a positive outlook. Positive thinking changes and improves our experience and interpretation of any event, day, or moment, and has the power to reduce and even eradicate chronic pain or the suffering and distress of any other adversity. Positive thinking triggers neurotransmitters that reduce pain, make us feel good, and even stimulate the autoimmune system. Remarkably, positive thoughts and feelings have been shown through brain scans to reduce the number of brain cells that are firing when experiencing a painful stimuli by 90% or higher. Let's take a step back for a moment from your concerns with chronic pain and practice applying the resiliency model to what you might have considered a traumatic time or traumatic experience in your past. For this exercise, find some kind of hardship that is not so big, and right now bring your mind there for a moment. Picture what happened and what were some of the ways that you felt about it. Perhaps, how did you see it as a trauma or yourself being wronged, hurt, or victimized? However you saw this difficulty in the past, change its interpretation from a trauma or hardship to an adversity or challenge. Reflect on how seeing this as an adversity feels different from viewing it as a trauma. When you see it as an adversity or challenge, how do you feel differently about the event, yourself, or the future? Next, think about this adversity and its surrounding challenges are no longer part of your life, but something you got through. What was it like after getting through this adversity, knowing how things eventually worked out and where you are today? What would have been helpful for you today to tell yourself at the onset of this adversity? When the adversity first occurred, if you knew that you would get through it and get to where you are today, how would you have managed that adversity and felt about it at the time? On a deeper level, think about how some opportunity or lesson came into your life because of this adversity in your past. What positive might have come out of or resulted from this adversity? What did you learn that has continued to serve you or has helped you in assisting with others due to this adversity and what you learned and gained from it? Finally, what are some of the positive thoughts or feelings that were or would have been helpful to insert and focus on during the challenging time in your life? What are some of the positive self-talk messages that you could have had? What brings a smile to your face or made you laugh when you look back at the time of the adversity? A resilient mindset changes the interpretation and experience of every challenge in your personal and professional life. Resiliency over chronic pain can be learned, and once internalized, can be a life skill that follows you through all of the journeys that life brings you. A skill for applying a resiliency outlook to chronic pain or any adversity does not come easily. It takes time and even some structure to assess and reassess resiliency to solidify it as a core belief and natural response. Specific exercises and coaching can help get you there. What I know for certain is that you can get there, and in the process, become an even greater you. To appreciate the power of mindset, it is also important to understand that what you think is what you feel, and what you feel is what you create. The degree to which you've developed chronic pain and perhaps associated fears, depression, or anxiety is equal to the degree you can have a negative thought that creates a painful feeling, and is equal to the degree that you can have a painful feeling and with it create a persistent chronic pain reality. Your ability to have a thought that creates a feeling and in turn creates a reality can be seen as your burden, or it can be recognized as your gift. The degree to which you've created the suffering and a negative reality is proportional to the degree you can think, feel, and create a positive reality. They take the same skills applied in different direction. What you think is what you feel, and what you feel is what you create. Positive thoughts create affirming and pleasant feelings. These upbeat and confident feelings create freedom and a vibrant reality. Change what you think and you will change what you feel. Change what you feel leads to the inevitability that you will change what you create. If you are suffering with chronic pain, it is time to become consciously competent at directing your thinking, feeling, creating skills. Investing time and effort in recognizing and practicing your skills for having thoughts create feelings and in turn influence your reality you create will pay enormous personal and professional dividends in your life. Let's take a look at another important mindset feature to consider in the journey to overcome the suffering of chronic pain. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Suffering is one form or another of regretting the past or dreading the future. There are three primary paths out of the place where regret and dread are manifested as suffering. 1, change the thoughts. 2, employ distractions. 3, be in the present moment. Change the thoughts. Deal with changing the thoughts of regret and dread of suffering by recognizing and acknowledging the negative thoughts or regrets and dreads that you repeat consciously or unconsciously and reverse them 180 degrees. I call this the 180-degree rule. Change, I have not accomplished, to I have done some good things. Change, I cannot get through this, to I see the light and there is a great path out. The 180-degree rule can be applied to all negative self-talk, regrets, and dreads. I am so overwhelmed becomes I can relax and peacefully take charge. I am a failure can be changed to I am infinitely successful. I can't do anything with this pain could become I am comfortable with a vibrant body and can meet any challenge I set my mind to. Take a moment now to think of a negative regret of the past or dreads of the future that you have around chronic pain, and employ the 180-degree rule to say a positive reframing message. Changing the regret and dread that attaches suffering to pain takes work and persistence. Some self-talk messages you may be aware of in your thoughts. Others can be so persistent that you have stopped noticing them. You can be successfully taught and coached in effectively identifying your conscious and unconscious negative regret and dread self-talk. Guidance and coaching can also help you master the use of affirmations, positive thinking, post-it notes, inspirational readings to change the thoughts of regret and dread that contribute to your chronic pain and keeping it alive. 2, employ distractions. The mind can be occupied with only so much at one time. So when you're distracted by something other than regret or dread, there's no room in your mind for these negative forces, with the result that suffering vanishes from your consciousness. Distractions can be provided by things that you enjoy or that demand focus or concentration. Most often, distraction is an unconscious competency that is indiscriminately and haphazardly employed or not. If you are unconscious competent at distraction, great. But as someone who strives for achievement, you can move into an informed conscious competence with employing distraction effectively over the suffering of chronic pain. You will definitely find that conscious competence will be invaluable in other areas for managing the challenges of success and achievement. Be in the present moment. The greater you immerse yourself in the present moment, the more you are far away from the regrets of the past and dreads of the future. Meditation, mindfulness practices, and paying attention to what your body is experiencing and what surrounds you can put you in the present. There are specific ways that these practices can be applied to relieving and eradicating chronic pain. Successful people have a picture of where they're going, yet are well informed by things from the past that led to success. They know their highest achievements come from deep immersion in the task at hand. Practicing, becoming more accomplished at specific skills and techniques for being focused in the present leads to removing suffering from many areas of your life. Mastering the skills of being present also has the benefit of increasing achievement. The present is a place of acceptance and contentment. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Mind-body tools change everything when you live with pain. Mind-body tools use thoughts and mental and emotional activities to stimulate and integrate the activities of the brain and body. The mind can influence the body in promoting pain relief and eradicating the suffering of chronic pain. Mind-body pain control techniques can produce mind states and powerful chemicals for relaxation, calming, and reducing pain. Activities that enhance the mind-body connection provide access to the world's most amazing biopharmacy. Recent research has shown that visualization, breathing techniques, and many other mind-body techniques can trigger the body's pleasure or pain-reducing neurotransmitters of hormones, proteins, and enzymes. Standard mind-body practices are breath, grounding, positive reframing, brief mindfulness check-ins, visualization and distraction. Mind-body tools can be quite powerful. It is important to intervene with mind-body tools before pain is out of control. I teach a comprehensive arsenal of mind-body techniques and tools for quick fix pain relief. I will briefly present some of these now. As you work with me and become familiar with mind-body resources, you will identify those that work best for you. Developing a positive outlook is a foundation in rising above pain. Intensifying positive feelings and good feelings, a positive outlook is promoted through positive thinking, reflecting on positive messages, positive self-talk, affirmations or mantras can assist in developing a habit of positive thoughts. MBPR, or mind-body pain repatterning protocols that I have developed, have an extraordinary ability to repattern a positive outlook over chronic pain. The experience of pain in the mind and body can be transformed through soothing music, humor, appreciating works of art, and spiritual practices. Visualization is a powerful tool in the mind-body pain relief arsenal. Visualization uses your imagination to form a mental picture and images and situations that can help with changing how you feel and how you experience pain relief. The greater you can feel in a visualization, the more powerful it can affect change. Visualizing comfort or pleasant feelings can help you with reducing pain. Pain taking on a form or being placed inside of a visual ball can be reduced by reducing the size or form of the ball. Visualizing stop signs, other symbols, messages, or metaphors can slow down or completely halt escalating pain. A boundary between you and the pain can be achieved through visualizing a wall, a protective bubble, or other barriers. Pain can be placed in a container and sent far, far away, seeing it become smaller and smaller. There are a number of ways to visualize pain dissolving into a liquid or a vapor that is carried away from the body and from the area of pain. Finding comfort and pain relief through visualizing a warm bath, favorite foods, or loved ones. Proper breath and breathwork techniques are valuable for relaxation, pain reduction, and for promoting well-being and health recovery. A focus on breath is an important aspect to nearly all mind-body pain management techniques. It is helpful to start any mind-body intervention for pain reduction by first doing some deep breathing, grounding, and centering activities. The relaxation state that you achieve through a focus on breath will help you move into a deeper state of receptivity and ability to change. Mind-body tools can be employed to interrupt the pain signals, triggering less intense and less painful slow-firing nerves can create a traffic jam in the messages sending of the nervous system that interrupts the ability of fast-firing nerves to deliver more painful and intense messages to the brain. Light tapping surrounding an area of pain will provide a distraction and also triggers low-frequency rhythms in the brain that reduce the level of pain. Pressure applied directly to an area of pain or nearby pressure can provide pain relief. Visualizing, stretching, body movements will actually trigger activities and nerves without causing pain and can be used to help the body limber up and get relief from pain. Visualization of heat and cold can help with reducing pain. Attention and focus are important mind-body strategies for pain relief and eradication. What your mind and heart focus on is what will expand. Take your mind away from pain-focused thinking into pleasure and positive achievement thinking. Focus on an area of body that are feeling comfortable rather than areas of pain. Through visualization, the pleasant, positive feelings in one area of the body can be moved over to the area of pain to reduce painful feelings. Reduction of pain can be achieved through changing the interpretation of pain. You can also refocus on alternative sensations in the area of pain. Dissociation from pain can be facilitated by visualizations that create distance or changes in time and location. Changing form. Pain relief can be achieved through visualizing a form that is then associated with an area or sensation of pain. When the pain is seen as a form, it can be transformed into energy that is released, or positive energy that replaces the negative experience of pain. Transform pain by changing the intensity of the energy or light that you visualize in association with the pain. Pain visualized as a form can be reduced by reducing the size of the form. A form representing pain can be visualized as dissolving or going away and taking the pain with it. Distraction is one of the most natural and spontaneous mind-body activities for pain relief. Pursuing interesting and enjoyable activities can provide positive distractions from pain. Puzzles, memory games can absorb the mind and provide feelings and interest and pleasure. Similarly, counting can serve as a form of distraction from pain. Pain-relieving distraction can be provided through reflecting on past or future events. Making a list or plans are a way of providing distraction, as they also trigger the pleasure and reward centers of the brain. Quick self-hypnosis. The conditions of receptive suggestibility provided by the entry into a self-induced hypnotic state can enhance any mind-body tool and can be directed towards immediate pain reduction. Hypnotic induction can be done by yourself to reframe and embed messages specific to pain relief. Previously induced anchor phrases or movements can trigger specific thoughts or feelings and behaviors, providing pain reduction. Mindfulness practices create an acceptance of the pain, which causes it to reduce for many. Also, mindfulness practices puts one in the present moment and takes one away from the regret and dread that adds suffering to pain. Mindfulness practices are valuable for even connecting with a spiritual realm or a sense of connectedness to the larger world that creates a sense of belonging and reduces pain. There are a wide variety of powerful and effective mind-body tools that combine mental and somatic processes to relieve stress, produce relaxation, and control over pain. With guidance, these mind-body tools are easy to learn and become more effective with practice and repetition. You have certainly heard, take a deep breath and relax to get through a moment of high stress. Well, that is just the tip of the iceberg of what is available to you in quick fix mind-body pain reduction tools and strategies. As you work with and become familiar with mind-body resources, you will identify those that work best for you. The mind-body tools are great for relaxation and pain relief as you deal with chronic pain. They also play a larger role in life. The wealth of mind-body tools that I teach for managing and eradicating chronic pain can be effectively applied for de-stressing in any situation, increasing energy, enhancing goal achievement, increasing wealth and prosperity, improved sleep, improved health and well-being, excelling in sports, disease and strengthening the autoimmune system, reversing disease. Wow, what amazing resources. Chronic pain and acute pain are distinctly different in how they are processed and mediated in the brain. Their resolution requires completely different approaches. You cannot change the core and fundamental forces driving mind-based pain with the tools designed to manage and cope with acute pain. Much of what we have discussed so far has been about the skills to change core mindset. Through a shift in perspective, the meaning and response to pain fundamentally changes. This shift in mindset takes the victimology and suffering out of chronic pain. We also skimmed across the surface of mind-body tools and techniques that give you powerful resources for pain management. Then there are the secret sauce of changing the core forces that initially embedded and then contributed to driving the conditions of chronic pain. We looked at an illustration that portrayed fundamental differences between how acute pain and chronic pain are processed in different areas of the brain. This understanding changes everything in how to effectively approach resolution of chronic pain. Mind-based chronic pain is largely mediated in the belief, thought, and story-making centers of the brain. These are profound differences, and they explain a lot about why medical and physical interventions so frequently fail in addressing long-term chronic pain. The key and secret sauce to identify and rewrite the stories and messages that keep pain alive. You've heard of the amazing success of my work with Paul Tobey and repatterning his core messages that locked him into the chronic pain for a decade. Paul employed proprietary mind-based pain repatterning MBPR protocols. He confessed that he didn't believe that they would work. But like many others, he put his trust in me, and I asked him to commit to consistently employ specific MBPR protocols for a prescribed period of time. Imagine creating this reality by changing the core forces driving your chronic pain. You effectively employ your understanding of the difference between suffering and pain. You have effective mind-body skills that work for you in a variety of areas of your life. 20 minutes of specific meditation daily helps you feel peaceful, clear of mind, and lowers stress the whole day through. You employ with ease great visualizations that calm your body and effectively make stress go away. These same skills you've developed with visualization you use for success and goal achievement in other areas of your personal and professional life. Imagine you have music, relaxation, and pain relief audios on a smartphone to play anywhere and anytime they're needed. You acquire an amazing tool that identifies, rewrites the messages and stories driving chronic pain, and you have given the suffering of chronic pain an irrevocable eviction notice. You recognize that as a result of chronic pain, you have learned so much and achieved positive and amazing results in many areas of life. Let's take a deep breath and recap. Acute pain is a protective response associated with tissue or structural injury in the body that was still in the healing process. Chronic pain develops with the accumulation of repetitive negative thoughts and messages during short-term or prolonged acute injury. Chronic pain lives in the story-making part of the brain. Contrary to common belief, mind-based pain can be reduced and even eradicated. Physical and pharmacological interventions are limited in addressing the mental cognitive nature of chronic pain living in the story-making part of the brain. To move forward on eradicating mind-based chronic pain, deal with mindset, thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes, the core story attached to pain, the mind-body connection, identify and use resiliency skills of believing you will recover, seeing there's a gift or opportunity in lessons, employing positive thinking. Separate suffering from pain by changing the thoughts, using distraction, undertaking activities that lead you to being in the present moment. Learn and employ easy-to-master mind-body tools. There are a substantial arsenal of mind-body tools and techniques, and they will serve you well in many circumstances in life. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of identifying and rewriting messages and stories that embedded and now drive chronic pain. Developing the skills to get control of chronic pain will result in your having great talents for managing many areas of your personal and professional life. Everything you learn in managing and overcoming chronic pain will be available for you as lifelong skills for achievement and success in life events associated with adversity and triumph. We have covered a lot of ground in this webinar, and I am sure by now you've gained some great insights with your situation with chronic pain, and you've already received a lot of value from this webinar. As I told you when we started, I really want you to get to a place in your life where you can overcome the suffering of chronic pain. So right now, you are at a turning point in your life. If you're ready, I want to share a very special, very time-limited offer with you. For the next few people only, I'm opening up room in my schedule to do free 45-minute discovery calls with people who have been accepted after submitting an application. On this call, we're going to do a few very important things. First, we're going to get tremendous clarity on where you're stuck right now, why you're in the situation you're in. Basically, I'm going to focus down with you and help you get very, very clear on why this is happening. Second thing is I'm going to have you paint a picture for me of what your ideal personal and professional life looks like. This is very helpful because I'm going to stretch you. I'm going to get you to a place in a very positive way where you get to see how much potential you actually have to overcome the core forces underneath chronic pain and go to a whole new level in your life. We're looking at going beyond erasing the suffering of chronic pain to changing mindset that will enhance achievement in a variety of areas of your life. From there, we're going to put together a plan to get you from where you are to where you really want to be and to do it quickly. Mind-based pain repatterning is at the leading edge of the field. This webinar briefly touched on the areas that I deep dive into with a limited number of clients I focus on. The work we do together goes much deeper in each area, so the results are remarkable. There are some proprietary MBPR techniques and strategies that I can only go into with those exclusive clients that invest in a commitment to a period of intensive and focused MBPR coaching. I do not work with everyone. I want to see success and achievement, so I only commit my time and skills to those who are willing to invest in themselves. We will review carefully the application you've filled in to assess your degree of desire and commitment. We will look at your application from the perspective of whether there is a good fit. With the time demands of my coaching and training, we can only do these free 45-minute discovery calls with a limited number of people. Therefore, here's what I want you to do. I want you to copy the URL on the screen, chronicpaincenter.com chronicpaincenter.com/apply, and you will go to the application page. I want you to give me in-depth answers to all the questions, and we will let you know within 24 hours if you're qualified and if we're going to do a discovery call together. So keep in mind, there's a lot of demand. The better your answers are, the more in depth, the more likely it is we can help you and offer you solutions that are really going to move you forward. So what you want to do right now is go ahead and follow the URL, chronicpaincenter.com/apply, and fill out the form, and that's it. Just click submit after you filled out the application form, and we will get right back to you very quickly and let you know what your status is. For now, I will leave the screen up for a few minutes in case you need to get paper or something to write with. Your application form for a free 45-minute discovery call will open up on your computer screen when you've put the URL chronicpaincenter.com/apply. This has been Dr. Michael Irving. Thank you again for attending the webinar, Achieve Vitality and Freedom. Say goodbye to chronic pain.